Hello everyone, happy Friday. It's Brian here, and today I'm going to do a thread response for Christian, whose current channel is Front to Back Vinyl, but he had a previous channel and I can't remember the name of it. And he's starting over from zero, so he's launched this thread about winter. So winter songs, albums, that kind of thing. It does remind me that 3 years ago, I created a thread about winter, but it was with respect to winter scenes depicted on album covers. And I think I showed 10 records, and some people actually did a response to that. So that's really cool. So I have 6 records. Please check out Christian's channel. It's very timely, of course, because we're moving into winter, and we got a ton of snow earlier this week, but thankfully it's all melted, but you know, it's going to come back. What can I say? So I've watched a few people respond to this thread, and in every case, I have been expecting to see one specific record mentioned, and so far, no one has included it, but maybe I've missed the video. I haven't seen them all, of course. So I'm going to start with that one. The song that I think is the song I think about every time winter comes, especially on those days when you go to bed and there's no snow, and you wake up in the morning and there's like a foot of snow. I always think of this song from Aztec Camera. This is their debut record from 1983 called Highland Hard Rain. And if you know this record, you know that the third track on side A includes a track called Walk Out to Winter. Did I say they were from Scotland? Scottish new wave kind of band, which I thought were pretty cool. I thought they sounded really great. So let me pull this out of here. First of all, I will say that any band that can reference Joe Strummer in their lyrics is okay with me. And in fact, Walk Out to Winter includes the line, "Faces of Strummer that fell from your wall." So clearly Clash posters falling off the wall. And I did read somewhere, someone suggested that this was some sort of a song about the transition from teenager to adult or something like that. Don't know if that's true. Here's the Sire labels that I'm sure you've seen before. So that is a really good song about winter. Secondly, stay over in the UK. This is a band out of London, a post-punk band out of London that I really didn't know about until Mike, PC31, the Vinyl Policeman, started talking about them. And that is The Sound. This is Shock of Daylight, a 6-track EP from 1984. Now, I'm a member of this group that talks about this record, or this radio station I used to listen to, and oddly, this band has come up as being a band they used to play, but I don't remember it. Maybe I missed it. I think we're underrated over here, not known really over here. I think they're terrific. The only problem with discovering this band is I feel like I missed out on hearing their music for the last 40 years or so, and I have to catch up, and it's kind of a shame that I didn't know them. Really interesting. I really liked it. This is an original pressing from, oddly, Canada, believe it or not. And I think it's really good. Now, first track on side 2 is called Winter, and it kind of gets to the heart of winter, to be honest. This is the A&M label. So I put the lyrics here, so I'm not going to read them all to you, but just, I'd like to sleep 100 days, which is often what I think when winter begins, because it just seems so dire. Who wants to go outside? But it does talk about snow in the wheels. I'm staring into winter. My hands have gone flesh, cold and numb. So it repeats that kind of theme throughout the track. So I think that's a pretty good song about winter. This is the absolute best album by Shriekback called Oil and Gold, with this kind of creepy cover of slithery things there. Here's the back. This album's best known for the track Nemesis, which was in heavy rotation among me and my friends and the places we used to hang out at way back when. This is from 1985. Fantastic record. New wave with a bit of funk, but I wouldn't want you to think of funk the way you might be thinking of it. It's certainly funky in terms of bass work and that kind of thing, featuring Barry Andrews, formerly of XTC, and also formerly of Robert Fripp's project, The League of Gentlemen. It also includes Dave Allen, who was the bassist in the Gang of Four. So here's the inside of that. Now the weird thing, some of the weird things about this record are that this, you probably won't be able to see it, but the lyrics are written in this 40-character phonetic alphabet called interphon, which is really strange. I mean, you can sort of make out the letters when you're reading them, if you can there, but it's kind of strange. Anyway, I haven't told you the song yet. So the song here, which you may not be able to see, is track 3 here, is called Fish Below the Ice, which is a very wordy, upbeat track that I think is really cool. Really interesting. Yeah, I showed you that already. So, fantastic track, so much so that I bought the 12-inch single of Fish Below the Ice, and you can sort of see fish here. This is the plankton-enriched mix, and the B-side has coelacanth, which is the name of a thought-to-be-extinct fish species that was presumed to be extinct for like millions of years or something, but a fisherman caught one off the coast of South Africa many, many years ago, and subsequently it has been found in other places. So not extinct after all, but just elusive. So I thought that's kind of a funny fish tie-in. And then I bought this double 12-inch single featuring the 2 tracks we just talked about, plus 2 of Shriekback's most interesting tracks all lined up, and My Spine is the bass line. Fantastic. So that's just because Fish Below the Ice. So now let's talk about a Canadian band that I'm sure you've heard of. This is Martha and the Muffins, and this is their album, This Is the Ice Age. I kind of feel sad for Martha and the Muffins because certainly they were known for the string of radio-friendly top 40-ish hits. Well, I don't know if they're top 40 or not, like Echo Beach, Black Stations, White Stations, Dance Park, Women Around the World at Work, which was on here. But equally, they had a number of really interesting tracks that were maybe lesser known, and I'm thinking of the title track here, This Is the Ice Age. This is from 1981, by the way. I think This Is the Ice Age is a really interesting song. It's 7.5 minutes long, so it had no chance of being played on the radio. I don't think it was a single. Really good song. And also the last track on here, 300 Years / Chemistry, also another song that is a bit uncharacteristic of the band, I would say. It doesn't sound like you'd expect to hear or expect a song from them to sound like. This image, by the way, is a Toronto image. This is a decrepit house. This is the view from Mark's apartment, Mark Gain in the band, looking at the Bank of Montreal Tower in the financial district of Toronto. And this is a later in the day image, I guess, as the sun goes down. And the lyrics about This Is the Ice Age is just, she sings This Is the Ice Age a few times. Here's the hype sticker. Women Around the World at Work. So, I should show you the label. On Din Disc. By the way, this was the first record that Daniel Lanois ever produced, according to what I've read. He'd engineered some records, I don't know if before or after this, but this is the first full-on Daniel Lanois production. Now, here's a band that is a side project of Nine Inch Nails. This is called How to Destroy Angels. And the album is called Welcome Oblivion. The song, the band name How to Destroy Angels comes from a Coil song, as I've read. This is Welcome Oblivion. So it features Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. And Trent Reznor's wife, whose name is Mary Queen Mandig, who used to be the lead singer for West Indian Girl, I think was her band. There's one other guy in here, and I can't remember his name. The best part of this record is the hype sticker. So, How to Destroy Angels, Welcome Oblivion. Now here's what it says. Debut full-length album, 15 tracks on 2 180-gram vinyls, plural, vinyls. Includes How Long, Ice Age, Keep It Together. So yeah, vinyls. Why? Come on, people. And it's a nice looking package. So there are 2 records that look like this. Right, there's 2 of those, and then there is two inner sleeves that look similar, like this. And there's this little insert with some credits on it. And the song I'm, of course, referring to is a song called Ice Age. Now, this band would probably be called electro-industrial. It's not really something that sounds like Nine Inch Nails, although there's hints of it. But the song Ice Age is more of a mellow piece, which I really love. I think it's kind of good, but not really. If you're thinking you'd hear Nine Inch Nails again in this record, you're not going to really hear Nine Inch Nails. Not directly, anyway. All right, so one more. Back to Canada. I've chosen Matt Mays and El Torpedo, which is a band that Matt Mays is associated with. He came to prominence, I guess, out on the East Coast. Love the art on this one. It's pretty cool. A double LP. Pretty cool artwork, as I said. And the track I'm talking about is the second track on side D, which is called Wicked Come Winter, which is a track that sort of, in my mind, and you can see by the wintry scene there, it kind of suggests winter in Canada. Because he sings, "Oh, it gets wicked here, such an evil time of year, so cold it brings you tears, come winter time." I mean, there's a lot of references to just the pain of winter, which I think is pretty funny. Let's just pull one of these records out. So, Matt Mays and El Torpedo. Right, so that's it for this video. I will leave a link to Christian's video. Oh, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.